Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Backpack Trader Training Room for Thursday, April 17th, 2025. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It is not individual financial advice. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. All right. No more sessions this morning. Holiday tomorrow, so you can make your own choices of whether you're going to trade. It's going to be a short session in the futures market. The exchanges will be the stock exchanges will be closed tomorrow. Futures exchanges will be closing early tomorrow, around 12 Central, 1 Eastern. Crude is in a long trade. Unleaded is in a long trade. Soybeans waiting for start time. Potential long trade there. YM is flat now. Taking a full stop on that last long. We aren't in the trade yet. Micro Russell getting a winner. Targets 3 and 4 on this trade. That one also is too early. Pound Aussie is in the short. The long triggered unadjusted, so it will remain valid. But the calculator's tracking it, but we hit stop and reverse adjustment kept us out of that so far. 776 is the adjusted entry. So we are still short. Less than a minute to market open. There's a potential, there's a get in sync short. And market pushes down hard on the open. Yep, goes too far, too fast. And now we have a long trade. And now a short. Crude stopped out, unleaded still flat. All of that was too fast to catch on the YM as well as on the Russell. Unleaded with potential stop and reverse. 594. So it looks like you were still in the long. 599 adjusted stop and reverse in P level. Yeah, it looks like we did just trigger. No, 595 was the low, so we are still in the trade. Still in the long trade. Soybeans got long. That's a valid long trade on the micro Russell, hitting the stop before hitting the entry. So that is its target 3 and 4. And we're going to be somewhere up along in here for the stop. And that stopped out too fast to catch on the short. YM in a short. That one you got a second chance to get in just now. YM is short. And YM stops and reverses into a long. It was too fast. You just mark it out of the short for a very small loss. New short. That's avoidable at this point. And there's a long. So far, it's a get in sync, and maybe just got in. Filtered short. Still in the long. Yeah, definitely. Oh, there's a stop and reverse short. Got a full stop out on the long. So in the short now. That should have been. That definitely gave us a chance to get in. Unleaded did stop and reverse to short. Stop is at the session high. I would push it up a couple of ticks. Mark it up that way momentarily. Oh my. So that's going to push it up to 59. Yeah, we've got two tests of it. I would take it up, would take it to 61. I don't necessarily like a 4-tick adjustment, but that's what I would do. And there is okay, what do we do here? We picked up target 1, and then we stop and reverse on the positive. Actually, 7. If we adjust, we've got a 1 tick positive, 766. And so we stay in the short. Actually, we would have stopped out at 62. Yeah, we'd have stopped out at 62. $762. And we would be done. One and done session. No, it wouldn't be, because we had a stop and reverse. So we would take the long trade, although that looks like the long bar. Probably in the long. We have stopped out of the short. Because we did take a full loss on the initial trade. Soybeans taking heat. Ooh, the YM is a mess. Unleaded in the short. Crude in the short now. And popping down to money management. 1 tick from target, it looks like. And we did pick up our first target. Here's our second target. That was our money management level. So target 1 on crude. After a full stop out, 1836 tick loss. We get 13 ticks. And we're down 23. Unleaded took the long and a small stop and reverse loss. 626 to 594. Yeah. So 32 tick risk, 64 tick loss. Targets are 46 and 72. So target 2 will get us positive. Yeah, definitely. It's been that way for the last week or so, Avi. It's been a little difficult to trade. Really fast moving action at the open. Looks like this short there was successful. That short was probably, yeah, that short was too fast. It went all the way down to money management in just a few, about 3 seconds. This is definitely a valid long trade and definitely should be in the trade if we're not done. Spent a lot of time. There's target. There's a target. Yeah, I'm too slow to react to it on 6 charts, but 1 chart maybe. And it looks like we may have a full stop out on pound Aussie. Nope. Stop is at 744 and our session low is 744.2. Not quite there. That's right. We were done there. One and done. Pound Aussie's done. I'm getting ahead of myself. if if the trade is too fast to execute, you just go on to the next one. You'll eventually get to something like this long. That made solid target 1 and trailed up. To 409. Shorts definitely, if you're not positive, this short definitely has had time to get in. And it looks like that's at least money management there. .32 tick target. And that looks like it's going to have a decent trailer on it. Yeah, nice trailer here. Still in the short. Soybeans reversal trade is filtered by the trend mode, hybrid trend mode actually, not taking reversals against the trend. Unleaded back to the entry. And crude stopping out. So we're pick up one more tick. We're down 22 ticks with 1 trade remaining on crude in 14 minutes. Probably a little closer to 13. Yeah, pound Aussie is definitely not going to be nearly as fast as the YM and the micro Russell that I'm running on Catapult. It's a quick pop into the long on the YM. We trailed down below target 1, so that's another 30, 34, 35 ticks. 53, 54, 59. Yeah, 6 ticks. We're back at the entry and going down, so that one's avoided. Too fast to trade that one. Micro NQ tends to be fast anyway, so I'm not even opening it up to look as fast as the YM has been. Let's take a look back and see how we were on the Micro Russell. Too much going on to even look at it right at the open. Oh Lord. Yeah, that was way too fast. That one was too early. That one's too fast. That one's not too fast, and I believe it would have been a winner on the first trade. Pulled back and then went up. That one's too fast. 4 seconds to money management. And in this kind of volatility, I'm not going to try to pick them up coming back to me. I'll wait for them to come through and turn back. A lot of them, when they come back towards you like that, will go back to this, all the way back to the stop in this kind of volatility. Yeah, 3 seconds. Nope, that was too fast. I see wick. That might get us. Yeah, and wick, and so that's going to be a break even. That's trade number 2. 53, 54, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. Still 5 seconds. 6, nope. That one's too fast. That one's definitely avoidable. Well, actually, 13 seconds on the entry bar. I'm afraid that one not going to get away from. So we have a win, a break even, and a loss. That one looks like it's likely to be avoidable. Two seconds. Yeah, that one's going to be avoidable. Just 12 seconds back up to the stop. Ooh, 15 seconds on the entry. That's a break even. So that is trade 4. Win, 2 break even, loss, break even. So 2 break evens. Six seconds to that bar. Another, well, okay. Possibly came back to the entry there. We have to pull that one apart. Would have been a nice win. I'm not going to count it at this point. That one's got a couple of wicks that'll definitely get you in. Plenty big for a target 2 gold move. So that gets target 2. That is win number 2. Fifth trade. Plenty of time to get in that one. Is that big enough for a target 2 move? 3.2, yes it is. And that's another win. So 3 wins, a loss, and 2 break-evens for the 6th trade session. And a lot of trades that were too fast to catch. Unleaded. In the short, trailing nicely. Stopping out. Missing target. If you traded for profit, you're positive. If not, you were down 64. 594 to 563. 31. You'd be -2 at this point. So trade for profit there was definitely the way to go. 67 ticks, so call it 65 if you traded for profit. And another 31.80. You pick up 20 ticks on the session and we go away to trade again another day. Stop and reverse. That's where it would have been at 51.5 anyway, with the adjustment. Gets target 1. And working on target 2. We would be in that because we would have. Oh, well, let's see. Comes valid there. Maybe you get in that, maybe you don't. You mark it out of the long trade anyway. But 51.5 would have been the entry. And that we should have been in. Calculator's not going to track it because it did use the chase ticks and it never came back to the entry, to the unadjusted entry. We go 54 to 51.5. 2.5 points. It's 10 ticks. So we're down 10 points. We get 11 to target 1. That's 2 3/4 points. So 7 1/4 points down. Target 2 up for 18 if we can get there. It's another 4.5. And we're coming up on our 10 o'clock crude session. squeeze zone filter on the crude trade, crude long. YM continuing to be pretty volatile. Yeah, pound Aussie would be a good look. Troy is looking at a couple of alternatives for trade managers for forex. Soybean sets a new session low. Pound Aussie set a new session low also. Soybeans trying to push down to target 2. There it is. Target 2 on soybeans. Crude into the 10 a.m. mini session. Waiting for a trade. We never got our third trade in the 9 a.m. session, so that's a negative session. Let's see where we are for the stop on soybeans. Balance line at 50.5. So we stop at 51 flat. So 2 ticks on the trailer. Right there. For the moment, looks like it's going to come down to 50.5. Another 2 ticks on the close of this bar. The speed of the YM or speed of the market indices sometimes is one of the reasons I kind of like crude at 8:50 or 9 o'clock start. Usually not quite as volatile. And normally will get you out of the way before that high volatility starts at 9:30 Eastern US on market open. But the first half hour or so for the YM and Russell and the NQ this week has been really high volatility. Right now we're just waiting for trades. Soybean stop at 50.5. The filtered long trade on crude would have been successful. As would the filtered trade on unleaded. Same reason. That's a squeeze zone filter. Some more volatility in the markets. The equity markets. Another little push downward. Followed by a little bounce. Market volatility continues. Crude and unleaded moving rather methodically, as well as soybeans. Can the I was going to say, can the YM push up through the 50 here? And the answer is no. The downtrend seems to be kind of running out of gas. And pushed hard through the 50 that time, stopping out short. Unleaded picks up the long trade. Too many things to be watching. We got just this little peak above the zero on the histogram. That little dot of blue gives us the blue trade there. Target one trader's gotten positive on unleaded. By about 5 ticks. Or no, about 7 ticks. So just a bit more than a break-even session. If we can get money management, that's going to put target two traders at break-even. Exactly. Crude finding some resistance up just above 62.90. Crude and unleaded not particularly active. We've got an hour and a half showing on that little chart. On unleaded, we've got 2 hours worth, a little over 2 hours on the crude chart. So that's definitely not a lot of activity on those two charts. Target 3 is our next goal on soybeans. We have 29 ticks, or 7.25 points in hand after a 10-point loss and stop and reverse. So we have down 2.75 points, 11 ticks. So where are we? We have 2 positions still running. The stop's still at 10.50, right, and 50.5. 4.8. We're just three ticks from being at break even. So another two more ticks of movement on the stop will get us to +1. and we'll get that move on the next bar. So soybeans will be positive by a single tick at worst. Have a good one, Avi. We did transition to the July contract on soybeans today, the June contracts on crude and unleaded yesterday. I didn't look Tuesday morning or Wednesday first thing, but I suspect at least Wednesday morning was. Let's see. Take a look at crude. That is Monday. It's definitely on May. Tuesday was pretty closely split, but by the end of the day, we got to June. So I would say probably still traded May on there. And then yesterday, solidly on June. So yeah, rolled over yesterday. Unleaded probably rolled over a day or so before that. I'm taking the volume chart here. It's Friday, Monday. Yeah, Monday we'd rolled already. Tuesday's lower volume, but yeah, definitely rolled over on Monday. Short trade on crude. I'm watching other things. First trade of the 10 a.m. mini session. Unleaded heading the wrong way right now. It's in a long trade. Unleaded set a new session high. All right. Soybeans is going to get positive. Stop move down to, or will be positive on close of the trade. Stop move down to 49 3/4 from 51.5. That's 714 ticks in hand at the moment. So we're +3. And we're going to get another stop move of a full point. So it'll be 2 3/4 points positive. Potential stop and reversal on unleaded. $6.09. Still long for the moment. Soybeans 1 tick away from target 3. There's his target 3. 26 ticks. $6.5 points. Let's see, 26 and 29, 55. 56 would be 14 points. So we're up 3 3/4 points. And we still have the trailer on. Now 48.5. Put the decimal in. So 48.5 from 51.5. It's another 3 points. So we're going to be 6 3/4 positive. Unleaded remains long. Stop and reverse adjustment keeping us in the trade. And crude remains in the short. Unleaded does stop and reverse. Unleaded is now short as well. So target 1 traders, you got done. Target 2 traders on unleaded. You go from 631 to 609. 22. So 44 tick loss. We're down 46 now. Crude hits money management. $62.73 for the stop. Target 1. That's going to be a one and done session on the 10 a.m. session. There's 14 ticks, or at least 15 ticks on the session. And that's what we get. 15 ticks. Stops out. Now the question is it going to push back down and carry our unleaded trade with it? I have to move down another point on the trailer. That'll take us to 7 3/4 points positive for the trade. Crude trade did stop out on its trailer. Now we got to see what unleaded does. We're down 46. Let's target 2. $65 less our 5-tick stop adjustment for stop and reverse and key level. So 60 would definitely get us positive. $23 ticks on the trailer. 609. 589. 586. Would get us to break even. This is not looking good. Crude is pushing upward. All right, soybeans. 46 3/4. 47 1/4. So 51.50 to 47 1/4. 4 1/4 points. So we're 8 points. Going to be at least 8 points positive. With single contract positions for all 4 positions, 3 targets and a trailer. All right, no change to speak of. Unleaded kind of stuck in this bar. Push up from crude, now pulling back. Support above 0650, or not support, resistance rather. No change in the stop on soybeans. Unleaded challenging the stop, session high and the stop. There's the session high. Oh 0666. And there's the stop out at 68. So we end on a difficult note. 1, 2, 3, 4 trades. We actually have 2 more trades we can take. I'm going to go ahead and call it a morning at this point. And I will see everybody next week. Regular sessions Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 9:30 a.m. Wednesday, 10:30 crude oil inventory report. Holiday tomorrow. Holiday on the equity markets tomorrow. Futures markets will be an early close. So your if any opportunity you have is going to be fairly close to the open, probably. We will see everybody next week. Have a good one.